book is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. It's a classic love story with timeless characters. The language is eloquent but accessible. The two lead characters, Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy, are beloved characters. She is the second of 5 daughters, and they are not a working class family, but they're not aristocracy either, and they're subject to old property laws, which means that even though they do have property, it is not going to any of the females and any of the daughters. And so the only way that they can keep up their lifestyle is to marry for money. So it's kind of a classic dilemma. Do you marry for money or do you marry for love? And right at the beginning of the book, Elizabeth Bennet says she would so much like to marry for love. And then she meets Mr. Darcy. And Elizabeth is different from other characters in the book and other characters of the time in that she speaks her mind. She has opinions and she stands up for herself. And then in comes Mr. Darcy, and he's got so much wealth and he falls in love with her, but he expresses, and she is beneath him because he's so terribly wealthy in class and in society. And she also has a really embarrassing family, which is a theme that goes throughout the book. So he proposes and expecting that she'll say yes, but she doesn't. And where the characters grow and change from that point is just such a good read. So Mr. Darcy is sitting with Elizabeth. In vain I have struggled. It will not do. My feelings will not be repressed. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you, says Mr. Darcy. As he said this, she could easily see he had no doubt of a favorable answer. He spoke of apprehension and anxiety, but his countenance expressed real security. Such a circumstance could only exasperate further, and when he ceased, the color rose into her cheeks, and she said, "In such cases as this, it is, I believe, the established mode to express a sense of obligation for the sentiments avowed, however unequally they may be returned. It is natural that obligation should be felt, and if I could feel gratitude, I would now thank you, but I cannot. I have never desired your good opinion, and you certainly bestowed it most unwillingly. I am sorry to have occasioned pain to anyone. It has been most unconsciously done, however, and I hope will be of short duration. The feelings which you tell me have long prevented the acknowledgement of your regard can have little difficulty in overcoming it after this explanation." Mr. Darcy, who was leaning against the mantelpiece with his eyes fixed on her face, seemed to catch her words with no less resentment than surprise. His complexion became pale with anger, and the disturbance of his mind was visible in every feature. He was struggling for the appearance of composure, and would not open his lips till he believed himself to have attained it. The pause was, to Elizabeth's feelings, dreadful. At length, in a voice of forced calmness, he said, "And this is all the reply which I am to have the honor of expecting. I might, perhaps, wish to be informed why, with so little endeavor at civility, I am thus rejected, but it is of small importance." "I might as well inquire," replied she, "why, with so evident a design of offending and insulting me, you chose to tell me that you like me against your will, against your reason, and even against your character. Was this not some excuse for incivility if I was uncivil?" I'll just leave it there. It's a great love story. When you're looking for something a little more gory, Pride and Prejudice and zombies is a great read, great movie, love it. If you're looking, once you've read the books, the feature film, Pride and Prejudice, with Keira Knightley and Matthew Macfadyen, excellent. But the best one to watch is the old A&E Pride and Prejudice, the miniseries with Colin Firth and Jennifer L. The language is almost the same as the book, follows the book exactly, and it's absolutely worth the watch. So, Pride and Prejudice, you gotta watch it, you gotta read it.
The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Avery Grimes has a plan for a better future. Survive high school, win a scholarship, and get out. But her luck changes in an instant when billionaire Tobias Hawthorne dies and leaves her virtually his entire fortune. The only catch? Avery must move into his sprawling mansion full of secret passages, riddles, and codes. Unfortunately for Avery, Hawthorne House is also occupied by the family that was just disinherited. This includes the 4 Hawthorne grandsons, dangerous, magnetic boys who grew up with every expectation that one day they would inherit billions. Heir apparent Grayson is convinced that Avery is a con woman and he's determined to take her down. But his brother Jameson views her as his grandfather's last hurrah. In order to inherit the fortune left by Tobias Hawthorne, Avery must solve a twisted riddle. One last puzzle to solve. To do this, she must explore the strange mansion with secret halls and passageways, doors to nowhere. She must play games and solve puzzle after puzzle, putting each piece together. Caught in a world of wealth and privilege, with danger around every turn, Avery will have to play the game herself, just to survive. The Inheritance Game by Jennifer Lynn Barnes.